Which Medicare supplement increases the least over time? It depends. Let's dive in. Which Medicare supplement increases the least? Well, it depends on what type of Medicare supplement you have. Not the plan that you have, that we're going to get into in just a little while, but the actual type of Medicare supplement you have can make a difference. And there are three types or three delegations of Medicare supplement. There is the issued age Medicare supplement, there's the attained age Medicare supplement, and there's the community-based rated Medicare supplement. So what's the difference and what are the rate increases like in each one? Well, let's go through them one at a time to find out. First, we have issued age Medicare supplement plans. This one is touted as the best because the way it is advertised, the rate does not increase. Okay, when you have an issued age Medicare supplement policy, you buy the policy at a certain rate based on your age, and that policy stays the same price forever there on out. Now, unfortunately, that's not necessarily true. Yes, you do buy it at a certain price, and it doesn't increase based on your age every year. But what they don't make clear is that they do have the right to increase the rate across the board for everybody, despite any sort of age factors or anything like that. So for an issued age policy, you might start at $160 a month, and you may stay there for many years. But if the company that offers you that plan decides that they want to raise the rate, they won't do it based on your age, they'll just do it generically across the board, okay? An issue-aged policy is typically more expensive to buy than the other delegations of policies because they assume if the rate's going to be the same for life, well, they need to charge you more in the beginning to make up for, basically charging you less towards the later years in your life. So for example, a regular attained age policy might be $110 a month to start, where an issued age policy might be $160 a month to start. That's a pretty large difference under the promise that if you pay the extra $160 a month versus the $110, that rate won't increase over a lifetime. Well, just doing a little bit of math, you start to see it like this. If you're starting at $110 a month, you're starting about $50 a month less. That's about $600 a year less that you'd pay for a non-issued age policy. And yes, that non-issued age policy will increase slightly over time, but every year you might be saving $600, then $550, then $500 every year over the course of maybe 10 to 12 years that it takes your rate increase to get up to that initial issued age price. You may have already saved, or if you have an issued age overspent, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 at that point. It is definitely not worth the risk, in my opinion, to put all of your faith in an issued age policy not increasing because they can increase based on their claims ratio or based on how they're doing with the Medicare payments that they pay out versus the premiums they bring in. So an issued age policy definitely has the advantage of not increasing based on age, but that doesn't mean that it can't increase. And it oftentimes starts a lot higher in premium than the other types of policies, which means you're going to be spending a lot of money extra over the many years that you could have been saving in a different type of policy. So on to our next type of policy, which is the one that is typically recommended, okay, is the attained age policy. And before I continue on with this, I do need to make clear, not every state offers every type of these policies. For example, only some states offer the issue age policy that we just mentioned. Some states don't offer it whatsoever. So as we move on to our next type of policy, we talk about an attained age policy, okay? Attained age policy does what it sounds like. Your rate is going to increase based on the age that you are. If you start at one price at 65, it may increase when you hit 66 and increase when you hit 67 on an incremental basis over time. The attained age policies, if you pick a good one, might increase 2 to 4% every year as you get older. Meaning, if you're starting off at $100 a month for a policy, you might increase $2 to $4 every year as you get older. So over the course of a lifetime, maybe 20 years, maybe you've gone up $100 in premium from where you started. That's not a bad outlook, and that's a pretty good projection and something that's quite easy to budget for. I personally would rather go up $2 or $3 every year than start at a much higher price with something like an issued age policy and then all of a sudden jump $20 or $30 in rate increase because the company decided they were increasing things blanket wide. So an attained age policy, yes, it does go up every year based on your age, but it goes up at a fair percentage if you choose the right company, and it's something you can budget for over your lifetime. So We've gone through issue age, which does not increase in price based on age, but can still increase in price. And now we've talked about attained age, which does increase in price every year as you get older, but it increases at a fair rate if you choose the right company. Now, our last type of policy we want to talk about is community-based rated policies. Community-based rated policies also do what they sound like. They don't increase your rate based on age, but they do increase your rate kind of on a blanket level based on the health of the community around you. If you live around a lot of healthy people, that could be a good thing. If you live in a senior community, that might be a bad thing. Again, the community-based rated plan is going to increase your rate based on community, and as advertised, they do not increase your rate based on age. Don't be fooled, okay? Most companies we see that are community-based rated may not increase your rate based on age, but depending on the age you join, they may start you with an enrollment discount. And every year as you get older, they take away that enrollment discount, effectively raising your rate every single year based on age without actually telling you they're raising your rate every single year based on age. If we see an attained age carrier typically go up 2 to 4% every year, a lot of times we see the community-based rated carriers going up maybe 7 to 12% every year because they're going up 3% every year based on a loss of enrollment discount and 3 to 6% every year based on the community-based rating. Sometimes we see the community-based rated plans going up double what an attained age plan is going up. So as we look at this in a whole picture, we've got 3 types of policies that exist: issue age, attained age, and community-based rated. To be honest, most times we see the attained age policy going to be the most fair rate increase over time and have the most consistent rate that you can budget for. Keep this in mind. You're not going to pull one over on an insurance company or pull a fast one on an insurance company. It's actually quite the opposite. So thinking that you're going to sign up for an issued age plan and your rate's never going to change, that's just not going to happen. The insurance companies know what they're doing and they're not going to lose money on a policy. Now, across the board with all of these types of policies, issued age, attained age, community-based rated, they all have the right to raise your rate at any time through the state, aside from all of the delegations they're putting your way based on how they're supposed to raise your rate. And this is why that happens, okay? If one of these companies is spending more money on claims than they're bringing in premium, they can always go to the state that you live in and ask the state to allow them to increase their rate based on their claims ratio, meaning we're paying out too much money and we're going to go out of business if we don't raise our premiums. They go to the state, and the state that you live in will oversee that rate increase and approve that rate increase for the carrier based on what they think is fair. This is how an issue age carrier is going to increase their rate, is they're going to go to the state and say, hey, state of XYZ, we're paying out too much money in claims based on this price that we offered. Can we raise the rate? And the state will say, yes, you can raise the rate this much, okay? So just know that any way that you go, the rate's going to go up as you get older. But the best way to keep a fair rate, in our opinion, is to start with an attained age company and pay attention to what company that is. Because every company does business differently. That might result in your rate going up a lot faster over time than others, okay? So for example, one of the things we like to do is stick near, say, a reputable company. Reputable companies always bring on new business. And by bringing on new business, what a company is doing is they are bringing on new, young, healthy people into the group, which offsets the cost of older, sicker individuals that are already in the group. This is how we keep insurance prices fair over time, is we bring new, young, healthy people in to offset the older, sicker people that are spending more money. If you have a reputable company, odds are they're always in the market for new business. They're always bringing on new, young clients, which keeps the price low. But beware, some reputable companies change their name every year or two. And when a company changes their name, maybe from Insurance Company of America to America's Insurance Company, what you find is that they've actually closed a book of business and opened a new one, effectively taking anybody who joined the first book of business and setting them aside and opening a new book of business to let new, young, healthy people join in. They make a profit on the new, young, healthy people that have joined in and just leave the older, sicker people behind in a closed-door book in which they bring that book to the state and have the state increase the rate to bring them to a break-even point. So they're always making a profit on a new book, increasing the rate on an old book, and basically screwing you because you're the one that's left in the old book without any new, young, healthy people to join you. So when we think about companies we want to join into, we want to join into companies that are consistent over longer periods of time with their company name and that aren't switching it over and over and over every couple of years, but there are some major offenders that do that very often. Secondly, and one other thing we want to look at is marketing. Companies that market more are going to charge you more over time to sustain that marketing. When you're new to Medicare or already on Medicare, we all know the companies that send us way more crap than others. Those are the companies that spend the most on marketing and that will charge you the most over time to sustain that marketing budget. So in essence, those are the three types of plans that exist: issue age, attained age, and community-based rated. And based on the company you choose is going to play a bigger role than any of those things in what your rate increase is over time. So if you want to go for the lowest rate increase over time, you're going to want to pick potentially an attained age company, maybe issue age if the price is right, okay? And you're going to want to deal with the carrier that treats you best because they've got a long-standing name with the company, they always bring on new business, and they don't overshoot the marketing budget and charge you for it along the way. If you have any further questions on the types of carriers or companies, what type of carriers there are in your state, or who's shown to have a better rate increase than others, please reach out to us at 848-226-6897 or visit our website at www.njlifeandhealth.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the page. We'll have more videos following. And in another video, we'll go into more detail about the types of plans, Plan F, Plan G, Plan N, and talk about how those rates increase over time, not only based on the company, but based on the plan you have as well. Thank you.